Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly update for July 25th, 2021. So this week was busy. It was really busy at work this week. We're in our busy season for all the other departments, except ours is it's not as busy as the winter, but we are, on call way more and getting called out to things that are happening. So, because again, remember I work in maintenance, and so it's been kind of a difficult, and then we have a lot of people out. Just happens to happen. It wasn't planned. Some of them were planned, some of them are not, for medical leave and some other leave. So we're going to be really short-handed the next couple weeks. So I'm not sure how much reading I'm going to get done in the next couple of weeks. And of course I have some buddy reads that I'm doing. But those will probably be my primary reading because I don't know what I'm going to get done because it's going to be so busy at work and I'm just not sure how this is going to go. So, but it is better at work this week compared to end of last week. Things were addressed and we're hoping something else will happen later on. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to see what happens and how long it takes them to get to that point. But again, I'm doing better emotionally compared to what I was last week. But this week's reading kind of reflects kind of what I was still feeling and not wanting to go to work when I know I had to because we're so short-handed. So anyway, so let's just say it was the week of Nalini Singh. And we'll talk about it. I did not do my board last week for you guys. I totally forgot. I did get to add quite a few things. So I did get to add in the series range. I got to add a start and a continue for the Pamela Aden Fitzwilliam Darcy, A Gentleman series, which I'm in the middle of. So I got 2 check marks for that. I got a couple for historical fictions because those also count for that. And then the first book I had on ebook. So I got to check off an ebook. So I think that was pretty good. I am trying to hit some of the other things. I'm just not doing. I always have like certain areas I do really good in every month. I don't do everything. So that's the whole point, is it trying to get quite a few of them different things done. So anyway, let's talk about the books I read, the ones I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. Sorry. So I did pick up on Sunday, I'm pretty sure I didn't start it till Sunday, was Branded by Fire by Nalini Singh. This is book 6 in the Side Changing series. Again, this is one of my favorite series of all time. I just picked this up because I've been thinking about this couple. This is one of my favorite of the books, and I just wanted to reread it. So I took it. I did a comfort read. I just needed it, so I did. So this is again, this is a paranormal romance series, a pretty long-standing one that deals with humans, shifters, and people with psychic abilities who are all vying for power in an alternate world about 100 years in the future. But again, everything's different because there's all these different kinds of humans, or humanoids, whatever. They're all vying for power in this world. And again, it's a paranormal romance, as in there's a different couple in every book. Again, this is a very long-standing series. So again, book 6, still don't start here. This is one of my favorites. I love Riley and Mercy. When I got to this book, I was so excited for their book. Because I didn't realize they were going to be a couple, and I was just so excited. And it still makes me laugh. This is one of my favorite couples that we see periodically through the rest of the books. Again, just glimpses. Again, we don't get glimpses of them, but this is their book, and I really enjoy this one. So I reread this over Sunday and Monday, I believe, and I finished it early when I got home that day. So, but this was just a great read, comfort read for me, because I've read it more times than I know. And then I did start another book, but I put it aside as soon as my Kindle book dropped for release on Tuesday. So it dropped, I got it at 9:25 or something. And that is Last Guard by Nalini Singh, which is in the same series. This is book 20. So this is book 6. This is 20. So they're quite a bit different. Anyway, so this is the newest book. It just came out, as I said, and I read it right away. I actually, because work was so stressful, I couldn't read at work. I mean, I read a little bit on my lunches, but not a lot. We had a lunch thing on Wednesday, so I didn't even get to read at lunchtime when I had this book to read. I was so upset, but it was work. But anyway, so this is a great addition to the series. I mean, as I said, I didn't watch booktube, I think Tuesday and Wednesday, because I was trying to get this done because I was so into it and I didn't want any distractions. So I just listened to ASMR rooms to get myself through. It was just fantastic. So again, this is a really great addition to the series. Again, this is book 20. So it's she has two series, like there's what she's calling 2 seasons. The first 14 books fall into the first season. And then book 15 is kind of the Bridger book, and then 16 on up to 20 right now is in season 2. So there's slightly different themes and different arcs that she's doing. Like, it's the second arc of this series, and it's going really well. I loved hearing about these characters because they're the 2 main characters are Sais, so we get more on their world and how they deal with the psychic stuff, and I thought it was a really good addition to adding to the world, as well as I really loved the 2 characters in this. She's doing a really great job of adding a lot of diversity. One of the characters is physically disabled, and then we're also seeing more couples that are not, you know, they're not traditional romance couples. There are some same-sex ones in here too. And it's really great to see the world expanding in that way. She's been building those up, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like that's anything new. It's just she's taking a lot more chances and getting bigger characters in here of things that are not, I would say, not traditional, but are getting so much better in the industry now. I'm really glad the way a lot of that has changed in the last few years. But anyway, I really like this one. It's not going to be one of my top favorites. I will definitely be rereading this here, probably in a couple weeks. Like, if I ever have a down time where I'm like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to start, I'll probably just restart this and just read it as a, you know, maybe on my lunch breaks. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm going to reread this pretty soon. Maybe not in the next couple weeks because I have some buddy reads. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be picking up this as a reread again. Again, I buy the ebook when it comes out in hardback because I don't collect the hardbacks. I don't have space for hardbacks. So I'll wait for the paperback to come out. But I'll probably reread the ebook at least 2 or 3 times before the paperback will even come out. But anyway, I really enjoyed this one. It's definitely a great addition. Don't start here. Don't start with Branded by Fire. Start at the beginning. But I mean, again, it gets better and better. I don't know how to, it's been a series that I've thoroughly enjoyed, and Nalini Singh is one of my favorite authors. Definitely one I will buy. Pretty much I buy all her books. Even if I don't get along with her contemporaries and her thrillers so much, because again, those are not my genres, anything she writes paranormal I'll buy. So the book that I started on Monday and then put down when this book dropped on my Kindle, and then I picked up afterwards, was Ocean Light by Nalini Singh. As I said, the week of Nalini Singh. So this one is book 17. Yeah, 17. So this is it 17? Yeah, 17. So the reason I picked up this is because we are first introduced to the lead guy in this one. We first meet him in Branded by Fire. So after I read this and he was in here, I'm like, I want to read his book. So we read his book. So he was one of the humans, and he is one of the leaders there, and he is injured, and he is being helped by the Black Sea changelings, who are all the ocean changelings. And it's just, we got great world building in here from there to see different things and different kind of changelings and stuff. I just really like this book for that. It's not one of my favorites. Again, this one is not in the top 5 or whatever, but it's still a good addition. And it was nice to go back and reread this, because I haven't reread this one in maybe a year or 2. I don't remember. I reread a lot of these a lot of the time. And again, I'm really thinking about doing a full reread maybe next year before the next one comes out, just because I saw a lot of people doing that, and at the time I just couldn't mentally stop reading everything else. I was having enough trouble starting too many books at the same time, so I didn't do a full reread. But man, that would be awesome to read all 20 books before the next one came out. So maybe next year that might be something I do. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I just really like this one. It's not, again, not one of my favorites, but that doesn't mean I don't like it and I don't love it, and I will reread it again. So anyway, I enjoyed that. So I read that through Friday at lunch. I think I finished it because I got to the end of Thursday night, and I was like 35 pages from the end, and I could not keep my eyes open, and so I had to go to bed, and I'm like, well, so I finished it on my breaks at work. And then the only other book that I finished so far this week is What Would Jane Do? Quips and, I don't know, and Wisdom from Jane Austen. So these are just quotes from her books and her letters and some of her short stories. The more famous ones like Lady Susan and Love and Friendship and stuff. So I saw this on Summer at Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats. She had a copy of this on one of her, I don't know if it's one of her updates or something, and she was saying it was with the stack of all her other books that she was reading, and she was saying how she just picked it up every once in a while to read it, and I'm like, oh, I need that, and so I bought it. It took a little while to get here, but I got it here and read it during Jane Austen July. You know, I didn't, so I got it done. Anyway, I just think it was really, really pretty, and it was kind of, it was fun to go through and read the quotes. Some of the quotes, like of Jane Austen stuff that I've read multiple times, I could figure out where the quotes mostly came from. There was a few. The Emma ones are kind of weak for me because I have not read it since college, and I'm avoiding ever rereading it again because of how much I read it in college for a paper. Just, I don't know. We'll see. I might someday go back and read Emma, but I keep putting it off. But anyway, so, and then the Mansfield Park ones are, I still want to get back and reread that. That just didn't happen this year. I was hoping, because it was the Jane Austen July, one of the books that they were reading as a group, I just couldn't get myself started on it at this time. So hopefully next year, maybe I'll read Mansfield Park. We'll see. But this was just fun to go through, so I just enjoyed that. So that was cute. And this, of course, makes me want to make a shelf that's just Jane Austen. I'm thinking of buying one more bookshelf that goes out in my living room, because my nonfiction is overflowing onto the kitchen table. So not that anybody eats at the kitchen table more than twice a year, but the point is that it's kind of in the way. So I want to get one more bookshelf that I can fit one more downstairs here, and I think one of my shelves might become a Jane Austen shelf that has my copies of her books as well as all the retellings I have, because I have a lot. I've stacked them in here to keep them separate, because I think I'm going to do that when I buy that IKEA shelf. I just haven't done it yet. But I've been seeing other people's copies of Jane Austen's novels, and all my copies are from high school and college, and I just, they're all mismatched. A lot of them were used. I didn't buy most of them new. I think half of them are used. So, I don't have the best copies. It would really nice to have a really nice set. Well, I've been, this last week, I think Sharon Goforth bought, like, the ones from Barnes & Noble, or that was last week. Anyway, but the point is that I was just like, oh, I want those. And then I looked online, and I like the Evergreen ones that I saw. And I also like the Oxford World Classic ones. And so I don't know. If you guys have a suggestion of which set of Jane Austen novels I should buy, let me know, because I think I might invest in that. Because again, I've had all these copies since high school and college. They are all old. They are still usable, don't get me wrong, but some of them are more worn than others because they were used, or, they've been sitting around for many, many years. And I'd really like some pretty ones, because I'm going to make a shelf. I think I'm going to make a shelf. I'm really coveting that Jane Austen shelf, I think, that I heard Summer talk about at Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats. She said she had one, and I'm like, I want one. Anyway, so speaking of Jane Austen, let's move into what I'm currently reading. Right now, I'm listening to Persuasion by Jane Austen. I'm listening to the Juliet Stevenson version, which I listened to, I think, last year. I think I listened to it last year, too. I love that version. Anyway, I'm nearly done. I think I have about an hour left on my audiobook. So I'm in the, the climax. There we go. The build up to all the end. Persuasion is definitely, Pride and Prejudice is definitely still my favorite book of all time. This is pretty close to second. It's funny that Jane Austen kind of takes the first top two, but it really is kind of true. This is really close, at least. If it's not number 2 for sure, it's really close up there. I mean, it'd be in the top 10, no doubt. So, I love this book, and I'm always surprised at how much I can forget over a year and go, oh, I forgot about that line. And you always learn new, like I remember new things, and I love discovering, rereading these books. And again, I did both of them by audio this time, and I really, really enjoyed them both. So this, again, I'm finishing the for Jane Austen July. This is, well, it's not the last one I'm going to finish. It's the last of Jane Austen's personal, or her novels that I'm going to do. So as I said, I'll probably finish this up tomorrow on my commute. And if I don't like get bored today and just decide to listen for an hour and get it done, we'll see. I'm just really enjoying this. I don't think I need to explain anything about Persuasion. Again, we follow Anne Elliot, and she had a disappointment when she was younger where she was persuaded not to accept to marry Captain Wentworth, and now 8 years later they run into each other again, and it's kind of everybody in her circle and then him coming in and getting to know them, and things happen from there. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. I love that book. Anyway, I'm so enjoying that reread. I listened to a lot of it yesterday morning while I was doing stuff around the house. Oh, I didn't do that much around the house. I just did a little bit, and then I sat and listened to it. So anyway, really enjoying that reread. I also picked up this library book, so I don't know why. Well, I know why. Okay, it's called Orgny by Amy Sackville. Never heard of her, never. I saw this on Laura at Book Bubbler talking about that she'd gotten it, I think from her library, I'm not sure. She was going to read it for something. I don't even remember. I don't know if she actually did. It took a while for me to, it just took a week or so for me to get from my library. So I got it, and it's been sitting because of Jane Austen July. I hadn't picked it up. And then I picked it up on, I think on Friday, just to try it and see if I wanted to read it. And so this is a weird book. So this talks about a man, or it's told from the perspective of a man who is just about 60, and he has just married one of his former students. So she's like 21. So they go on their honeymoon to kind of get away, and she wants to go somewhere to the sea. So they go to the north, to Orkney, which I think is an island off of is it on the eastern side of Scotland? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, but it's one of those really small islands. There's just there's only, a few inhabitants, and people go there for, I guess, vacations and stuff. So that's where she wanted to go. So they have this really strange relationship, like, not strange, like their relationship strange. It's just told really strangely. So we're getting what's happening as they get to the island, and as they, do stuff there and meet people there. And then it's intersected with stories from how they met and how things progressed and how slowly, it was a weird, it's nothing creepy. It's not like that. It's really just a bizarre way of telling the story. It was just like, okay, stop talking about the past. Let's just get going with the future. And but it's told that way for a reason, because you start to question, I don't know if this is a reliable narrator at all, because sometimes he'll say something like, this happened this way, and then she will deny that happened that way. And it's really weird because you're not sure who's telling the truth. But it's really about his obsession with her, because again, she's young and beautiful. She has white hair, and she's very stunning, but she's very, just definitely doesn't talk to a whole lot of people except for him. And it's like, they have this weird connection. So this is a really weird book. I wanted to finish it yesterday, but I did not. I got to page 201. So I have about 50 pages about left. So I'm going to probably finish this today. I don't know about this. This is a book several times, like the beginning, I was compelled, and it was beautiful, the writing and the imagery and stuff of the island and stuff that was going on with the water, and his talking about her. And it is very sexy in a lot of ways. Like there's just this sexual thread through it of their relationship, of being a married couple and stuff. And then there's this really weird, there's stuff about dreams in here that I'm not sure how that's gonna, how in the end that's gonna work. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't trust. This is one of those ones where I'm like, I think this is going to become an unreliable narrator, and I just didn't expect that. I mean, I did partway in, but not at the very beginning. I don't know how to explain that. I guess I don't look for that, so I don't notice it until it happens. I'm always surprised when it's an unreliable narrator. But I'm not positive, but I'm thinking that's I don't know. This is a weird book, and I just picked it up on a whim because I saw it on her channel, and I wanted to, for some reason, wanted to try it. And I'm not explaining this well at all. This is a weird book. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to probably finish it today, so I could take, because it's due back to the library, I think, on Thursday. So I have to get it done. Anyway, but this is a weird book. I don't know why I picked it up this weekend. I guess there's something compelling about it, but I don't like it. Like, I don't know how to explain that. I'm working on that one. And then, so that one I'm actively reading again. Then I have a couple of books that I, are in the middle of that I'm going to make a decision on. Well, one of them, this one I'm going to make a decision on today or tomorrow, because this also is due back on Thursday. So I have to decide. And that is The Heiress, The Revelations of Anne de Bourgh by Molly Greenlee. So I read about 180 of the pages of this, and then again, things kind of happened last week, so you know, I kind of put it aside. I wasn't really enjoying it by that point. I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to read this. I read 20 more pages of this to get to page 200, and I'm still not sure about this. There are things about this I like, and there are a lot of things I'm like, I don't know if I care. Like, I don't know if this is going in anything that I want to follow. Like, again, it's showing Anne de Bourgh from Pride and Prejudice. This is a retelling. And it shows her childhood and through her adulthood. And what I didn't like about, again, I'll just say it, there was almost nothing from Pride and Prejudice. It was like we kind of skimmed over that whole thing so quickly. And it was kind of upsetting. I didn't get much of that at all, and or of Elizabeth and Darcy in any way. It was really kind of upsetting. And then we got a little bit farther, and then that's her story of what she decides to do, which I really liked that part, because she made a decision that, you know, changed her world, which totally made sense. And it was kind of sad how she'd gotten to that point. And so there are good things in here, but now she's in London. I mean, this is not really spoilery. I'm not sure if it tells that, but anyway, she is, you know, getting back into society, because she's been very, recluse in Kent. And, the things that are happening there, I'm just not sure. Anyway, it's not anything to do with, I don't know. There's just something about this I'm not sure about. And I still have 150 pages. I just don't know if I want to read this. I've read 200 pages, and I'm just on the fence if I want to continue. I don't know if I like it enough to finish it out. I don't know if I care. So I said I'd have to read another 20 pages today, and then I'll make a decision. So we'll see. I'm going to at least do 20 more pages and see if I want to continue. If not, I'll just take it back to the library. It's just not, even though I've read 200 pages, I don't know if I care enough to finish it out, which is sad, because I don't think the writing's bad, and I think there is some good stuff in here. I just feel that it didn't go in any direction that I wanted it to go. I guess maybe that's it. I guess I really enjoyed how the other book, Charlotte by Helen Moshfegh, dealt with Anne de Bourgh much better. I liked her storyline in that one a lot more than I like the way that this is going. And I'm not saying that this isn't a good interpretation. I'm just saying it's not one I want. This is not the way I wanted it to go. So I don't know. 20 more pages, and then that's probably, I might be DNFing it that far into the book. We'll see. A book I do want to get back to this week is These Three Remain, a novel of Fitzwilliam Darcy Gentleman by Pamela Aden. So again, I read the other two week before last week, and I started this. I'm about 100 pages in. I'm right at the Kent proposal, so I'm just like, I want to read this. So this is again Pride and Prejudice retelling. It's a trilogy. There was a trilogy of books. I really enjoyed the first one. The second one I liked I liked half of it. The other half I'm like, but I think this is going to follow most of the rest of the book. It's going to follow the rest of the book from his perspective, and I just want to see how she does it, because I've really enjoyed a lot of the things she's done with Darcy, as in to say, what he would think or you know, why he says certain things or does certain things. And I think it shows that. I just want to see the rest of the book from his point of view. So I do want to still read this one. So I'm hoping that this week I will finish this out before the end of July, because that's kind of, would like to be done before the end of Jane Austen July. But it'll probably be, I don't know if I'm going to read the Heiress, but for sure this will be probably the last one that I'm definitely not going to start anymore for Jane Austen July. That'll be it. And then I would like to try to insert a few chapters at least of The Sun in the Morning by MMK, My Early Years in India and England. This is a memoir that I'm trying to get through. I was reading it with a group of people that Kate Howe had put together for a Voxer group. And again, I'm like way behind. I got partway through this and then July hit and I just set it down. And I've read a little bit yesterday, but I really want to get back and try to get a few chapters done. I'm just gonna do a small meandering. It's not the book's fault. It really is mine, because I have so many books on the go. I'm trying to finish them so I get back to where I'm only reading a book or two at a time. I'm really tired of multiple books. But this is not going to be the week, since I have a buddy read, which I'll talk about in a second. But I do want to try to get some of this memoir done this week so I can get, again, I said I'm just over halfway. I really want to finish it. And there's 2 full other books that come after this, and I really want to buy those, but I told myself I couldn't buy them until I finished this one. So hopefully I'll get a little bit work on that. And as I said, the one book I'll be starting this week will be my buddy read with Tia and all the books. We'll be reading a book. Are we at 4? Oh God, I forgot. What number are we on? Yeah, we're on book 4 of the Kate Daniels series. This is Magic Bleeds. So we also read the novella the other week, which I forgot to mention last week that I did finish that on Sunday. Which I really enjoyed, Magic Mourns. So anyway, so the last week of the month I'm trying to get a book done a month just to get through this series. I've owned most of these books on my shelf for quite a few years. So anyway, so this is an urban fantasy series following Kate Daniels, who is kind of mercenary-like, but she, as the story goes along, her position changes a little bit, but she is, you know, of the order or works with the order, which is kind of like human knights of something, and then works with the shifters in the area and the Beast Lord, Curran. So this is a world where it's an alternative Atlanta where magic is coming back into the world. So there are, it fluctuates, the magic. When the magic is on, people use magic, and they, no technology works. And then when the magic is down, all the technology will work. So it's kind of like they have these 2 ways of living. So they have 2 different systems on everything, on where the lights work, and cars and carts, and they have to have horses on the go and stuff. It's just interesting. So again, so far I've really enjoyed this series. The books keep getting better and better. I liked the last one the best so far. So we are, again, book 4, hoping to continue and enjoy this. So we'll be reading this week. So we should be, I think we have it starting today. And we're doing about 58, 60 pages a day to get done by Friday. So that's my goal. So we're going to get that started. So that is all the books that I'm in the middle of, or I finished, or whatever. So on my board, what did I do? Let's see here. I just did rereads, really. So first I did 2 rereads, my Branded by Fire and Ocean Light. And then I continued a series because I read Last Guard, and it was also an ebook. Look at me, 2 ebooks in a month. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all that I did. So I'm doing pretty good. I mean, this week hopefully I'll get some more books done, and I'll have more things to knock off. But I am afraid I'll have a DNF up there, but we'll see what happens. So that's it. What are you guys reading? Are you guys are you in the middle of too many books? I'm trying to get myself out of this, like, and I just want to get back to reading 1 book at a time. It's so hard for me right now. But I'm, you know, not when I have a buddy read. Again, that's different. But all the rest of the books. I got too many books on the go, and I need to make some decisions about the DNFs or not. I do DNF pretty well, but sometimes I just like hold on, and I don't know why. I think I'm going to come back to it, but we'll see. Anyway, if you guys have read any of these books, let me know what you thought. Do you have weeks like that where you just read one author for most part? I enjoy that. I love reading Nalini Singh clearly, and I'm glad I did that. It definitely helps with my mental state to reread her books. So anyway, that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.